Did you know that some of the most beloved plants in the home garden carry what ancient farmers called a hidden curse, a silent sabotage that weakens, poisons, or infects the plants growing beside them? Imagine spending months tending your strawberry bed with care and intention, watering faithfully, feeding the soil, watching the runners spread, only to watch your harvest shrink season after season without a single visible reason. Sounds a bit mystical, right? But here's the real kicker: this isn't garden mythology, it's plant science. And today we're exposing the 7 plants that are silently destroying strawberry harvests across gardens every spring. Stay with us until the end, because we're also revealing the 3 sacred companions that ancient garden wisdom and modern plant science both agree belong beside your strawberries. Before we begin, let's be clear about something. Not all gardening relationships are sacred partnerships. Some plants share nutrients, repel pests, and call in the pollinators your strawberries need to thrive. But others? They drain, poison, and infect. And the tragedy is, most gardeners never know the difference until the harvest is already lost. Today, we're organizing these 7 plants into 3 categories that both ancient garden wisdom and modern plant science recognize: soil poisoners, resource rivals, and disease bridges. Understanding which category each plant belongs to will transform the way you design your entire garden. And stay with us until the end, because after we reveal all 7, we're closing with the sacred trio. 3 companions that have been placed beside strawberries for centuries, by indigenous North American growers, by European cottage gardeners, and by modern permaculture designers. Science and spiritual tradition agree on all 3. Let's begin with the most insidious category, the soil poisoners. These are plants that release chemical compounds directly into the soil through their roots and decaying leaves. The scientific term is allelopathy, a plant's natural ability to suppress the growth of competing neighbors by altering the very chemistry of the earth around them. Sounds a bit mystical, right? But here's the real kicker. Allelopathy isn't mystical at all. It is a survival strategy encoded into a plant's biology, and your strawberries are paying the price. First, we have fennel, and if there is one plant that belongs in a garden bed of its own, completely isolated from everything else, it is fennel. Fennel produces a volatile organic compound called anethole, released from its roots into the surrounding soil. This compound doesn't just slow strawberry growth, it actively inhibits root development and suppresses germination in most vegetables and herbs nearby. In ancient Greek tradition, fennel was associated with Prometheus and the gift of strength. But in your strawberry bed, it acts more like a silent tyrant, beautiful above the soil, destructive below it. The ritual wisdom here is beautifully simple. Give fennel its own sacred space, a dedicated container, an isolated corner of the garden, a herb spiral of its own. Anethole inhibits strawberry root development. The ritual, isolate it in its own container or bed. Even the most powerful plants must know their place. True harmony begins with sacred separation. Next, we have the Brassica family, and this one surprises most gardeners because these are celebrated nourishing vegetables. And they are. Just not here. Brassicas release compounds called glucosinolates as their leaves and roots break down in the soil. These sulfur-based molecules, the same chemicals that give broccoli its distinctive smell, create a toxic microenvironment for strawberry roots. Additionally, brassicas are heavy feeders, drawing the same nitrogen and potassium reserves that your strawberries depend on for fruit production during the critical ripening period. Ancient Chinese market garden traditions and Native American growing systems both kept the Brassica family in tightly grouped, rotating dedicated beds, intentionally separated from fruiting crops. That wisdom was not accidental, it was earned through centuries of observation. Glucosinolates suppresses strawberry root uptake. The ritual, rotate brassicas in dedicated beds, never adjacent to berry patches. Some partnerships require distance to flourish. Wisdom knows the difference between harmony and competition. Now before we move into the resource rivals, I want to make sure you stay with us through Plant 5, because Plant 5 is the one that shocks even experienced gardeners every single season. It's a plant that looks completely harmless beside strawberries. In fact, many gardening guides still recommend it as a companion. But the science and the harvest data tell a very different story. We'll get there. First, the resource rivals. Source. Resource rivals don't poison your soil, they don't spread disease, but they are ruthless competitors, silently stealing the water, sunlight, and nutrients your strawberries need to produce those plump, sweet berries you've been working toward. And because the damage is gradual, rather than sudden, most gardeners attribute a weak harvest to weather or watering, never suspecting the plant growing just a few feet away. Now, let's talk about mint. And this one is genuinely heartbreaking because mint is one of the most beloved plants in any wellness garden. It's fragrant, medicinal, and spiritually powerful, used in cleansing rituals and protection ceremonies across cultures, from ancient Egypt to indigenous North America. But in your strawberry bed, mint becomes a garden invader. Its rhizome root system spreads not through the air or seeds, but underground, quietly establishing a root network that competes directly with strawberry runners for water and soil nutrients. Within a single season, an unchecked mint plant can colonize an entire raised bed. The spiritual lesson here is one of sacred boundaries. Mint's energy is expansive by nature, that is its gift and its purpose, but every garden sanctuary needs clear, intentional boundaries. Plant your mint in containers, let it thrive in its own dedicated space. It will still offer you its full healing properties, without sacrificing your strawberries. Rhizome root competition depletes water and nutrients in strawberry zone. The ritual, do container planting with root barrier. A plant without boundaries becomes a burden. Even healing energy must know where it ends. Next, we have sunflowers. And here's the big question. How could something so radiant and beloved cause harm? The answer is in what sunflowers take from the sky. Tall sunflower varieties, anything growing above 4 feet, cast a long shadow that blocks the direct sunlight your strawberries need for photosynthesis and fruit ripening. But it goes deeper than shade. Sunflower roots are prolific water seekers, drawing moisture from surrounding soil during the hottest weeks of summer, precisely when your strawberries need consistent hydration to develop their fruit. The combination of light deprivation and water competition produces smaller, paler berries with compromised sweetness. Ancient solar traditions across the Americas revered sunflowers as sacred symbols of light and abundance, and they are. Plant them along your garden's northern edge, where their magnificent height becomes a windbreak and a pollinator beacon, not a shadow. Let them face the sun, without stealing it from your berries. Shade plus root water competition suppresses photosynthesis and fruit sweetness. The ritual, plant on the northern border as a windbreak. The sun's gifts are abundant, but only when they reach every corner of the garden. Disease bridges are the most dangerous category, and the hardest to detect. These are plants that harbor specific soil-borne pathogens without showing visible symptoms themselves, but silently spread those pathogens through shared soil into your strawberry roots. And the pathogen at the center of this category has a name: Verticillium dahliae. The fungal organism behind Verticillium wilt, one of the most destructive soil diseases in home gardening. By the time your strawberries show symptoms, yellowing leaves, wilting, despite good watering, diminished harvest, the infection has already taken hold. Here is the plant that shocks gardeners most. Tomatoes. We love tomatoes. They are the crown jewel of the summer garden, abundant, nourishing, and spiritually associated in Andean indigenous tradition with community and shared harvest. But tomatoes are one of the primary carriers of Verticillium wilt in the home garden. And here is what makes them so dangerous besides strawberries: the fungus lives in the soil long after the tomato plant is gone, sometimes for years. And strawberries are extraordinarily susceptible to it. You won't see the damage immediately, but as the season progresses, strawberry leaves will begin to yellow at the margins. Plants will wilt despite adequate watering. The harvest will diminish quietly, season after season, without any obvious cause. This is the disease bridge in action. The sacred wisdom here is one of rotation and memory. Never plant strawberries in a bed that has grown tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, or potatoes within the last 3 years. This is not only modern agronomy, it is the heart of Native American crop rotation philosophy. Let the earth rest and renew before asking it to give again. Verticillium dahliae, fungal pathogen, infects strawberry crowns and root systems. The ritual, do the 3-year bed rotation away from all nightshades. The earth remembers every plant that has lived within it. Give it time to forget the ones that cause harm. Next, we have potatoes, and the disease bridge is identical: Verticillium wilt. But potatoes bring an additional threat: late blight, caused by Phytophthora infestans, one of the most aggressive plant pathogens in history. Blight spores can persist in soil for multiple seasons, and transfer to strawberry crowns through splash watering, shared tools, or direct root contact. The combination of verticillium and potential blight exposure makes potatoes one of the most dangerous neighbors your strawberry bed can have. Verticillium dahliae plus Phytophthora infestans are dual disease vector to strawberry roots. The ritual? Do the strict 3-year separation, clean tool protocol. Ancient traditions honored the potato as a gift of the earth. Honor it still, but give it its own sacred ground. Last but not least is eggplant, and by now the pattern is clear. Eggplant belongs to the same Solanaceae family as tomatoes and potatoes, sharing identical verticillium wilt susceptibility. But eggplant brings one additional risk that the others don't. Its large, spreading leaf canopy creates the damp, shaded microclimate that Botrytis cinerea, strawberry gray mold, thrives in. Dense foliage overhead, reduced airflow at the soil surface, shared soil pathogens below. These three conditions form the perfect triangle of destruction for a neighboring strawberry bed. Verticillium plus Botrytis cinerea, gray mold, are dual pathogen risk, plus microclimate damage. The ritual? Complete nightshade separation. Give strawberries open, airy beds. Even the most beautiful companions can cast too much shadow. Discernment is the garden's highest wisdom. And there you have it, the 7 plants silently destroying strawberry harvests every spring. Now, before we reveal the sacred trio, I want to share something special with our community. We've just released the Companion Planting Bible, Sacred Partnerships in Your Garden, a complete guide to the most powerful plant relationships in the home garden, combining ancient wisdom with modern plant science. This is our gift to the Green Life Zen members, so please join our community and download it before you plant another bed this season. Find the link in the description below. But knowing what to remove is only half the wisdom. The other half, and the more powerful half, is knowing what to plant in its place. These 3 sacred companions have been placed beside strawberries for centuries. Science and spiritual tradition agree on all 3. Borage, the star-flowered blue herb of ancient apothecaries, is one of the most powerful strawberry companions in existence. It repels aphids and tomato hornworms, attracts bees and native pollinators at peak berry setting season, and its deep taproot draws trace minerals including calcium and potassium up from deep in the soil, making them available to strawberry roots at the surface. In ancient folklore, borage was called the herb of courage. In your strawberry bed, it is the herb of abundance. Marigolds release a compound called alpha-terthienol from their roots, a natural substance that suppresses root knot nematodes, one of the most common underground destroyers of strawberry root systems. They also attract aphid-eating insects and act as a visual decoy for pests that would otherwise target your berries. Ancient European garden traditions placed marigolds at the corners of every bed they wished to protect. Consider that a sacred instruction. And finally, thyme. Low-growing, fragrant, and deeply healing. Thyme planted at the base of your strawberry rows creates a natural ground cover that suppresses weeds, retains soil moisture, and repels whiteflies and cabbage worms. Its essential oils, thymol and carvacrol, have documented antimicrobial properties in the surrounding soil. And in the spiritual traditions of ancient Greece and Egypt, thyme was burned in temples as an offering of purification. In your garden, it purifies the air, the soil, and the energy around your strawberry bed. Do not compost tomato, potato, or pepper material into beds that will host any of these crops the following year. What you leave behind in the soil today determines what your garden inherits next spring. And honestly, does it matter why it works if it feels right? Whether you're drawn to the science of allelopathy and verticillium wilt, or the ancient wisdom of sacred garden partnerships, the result is the same. A strawberry bed that thrives, protected by the right companions and freed from the ones that cause harm. Which of these 7 plants has been growing near your strawberries? I love hearing from you, so feel free to leave a comment below and let our community know. Your experience helps every gardener here grow together. For more ways to create a thriving, spiritually abundant garden, check out these companion planting videos right here. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video from us. Thanks for watching, stay positive, and keep blooming.